Madden football is the home of Super Bowl 56, and this historic matchup is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Ravens and the Packers, and it's coming up next.
It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Tonight it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy, as it'll be the AFC champion Baltimore Ravens taking on the NFC champions, the Green Bay Packers. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. And Charles, you look at the Ravens, champions of the AFC. Remember, they won Super Bowl 47 back in February of 2013. They've been one of the best teams in the NFL the last decade or so, and now they look to cap off a tremendous season.
And it started pretty quickly for them, because you have to remember, Ravens history starts in 1996 when the Browns moved from Cleveland and became an entirely new franchise known as the Baltimore Ravens. And since then, they've won the Super Bowl twice. Number 47 you mentioned, and also number 35 in Tampa over the Giants. This is a proud franchise looking to add their third Super Bowl trophy.
Meanwhile, the Packers are back as they look to bring another Super Bowl title home to a place aptly named Titletown.
And they're looking for their fifth win, which would tie them with the Cowboys and 49ers for second all-time. They did last win it in 2011. That was Super Bowl 45. Aaron Rodgers leading them over the Pittsburgh Steelers. But when you talk about titles, and you mentioned Titletown, they've won 13 championships overall when you count all the NFL titles prior to the Super Bowl era as well. So this is a town that's used to winning, and they expect to win this one as well.
It's finally time for the main event here in 2025. Away we go in Super Bowl 59. And we will not have a return, so the first drive of this Super Bowl will begin at the 25. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by their highly decorated quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
And he comes in off of a tremendous game in the NFC Championship round 2 weeks ago. This has been a team all season long that's really taken their identity from their quarterback, and he's been very vocal in the days leading up to this game that he believes that this is their time, and he's going to do all he can to will them to a Super Bowl win.
Now a play fake. Rodgers. His throw incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That'll allow him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Here's Rodgers. Out of the backfield, this is Aaron Jones. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
That's a pretty play there coming out of the backfield, but as that back, you've got to be conscious of making sure you're securing the football. When you get out in open field, sometimes you get a little loose with it as you're trying to get up ahead of steam. Make sure you keep it close to your body because those defenders are trying to punch it free. He does a nice job there protecting the ball and picking up a first down.
And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Brings up 2nd and 4.
Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? Five or more yards each time, that's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on, catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Rodgers, open man, this is Lewis. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A big connection on that one. 31 yards.
Well, after the standard 2-week layoff, you always wonder how's your offense going to respond and come out and play here in the Super Bowl. Well, they got a great answer right there and almost a sigh of relief on that side of the field because now they've got to feel like they can use their entire playbook and game plan for this one.
A chance for the first points of this Super Bowl. It's 1st and goal. Throwing is Rodgers. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Down this close to the goal line. First down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because second down, that gives me that option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. A big one here early in this Super Bowl. It's 3rd and goal. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. With a first touchdown of this Super Bowl and a long one at that. And the Packers are on the board first here in this Super Bowl. They got to love that. 9-play drive results in 6 points.
That means they're doing the dictating. That means that they've described how the game's going to go. They're playing at their tempo, at their pace. If you're on the other side of the ball, if you're playing defense, defense is not methodical. They've got to go in there and shake things up and create a little havoc.
Now the extra point. And it's good to make it 7-0 Packers. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays. And it ends with a Packers touchdown. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. Duvernay going to sit on this in the end zone, so it'll come out to the 25. The Ravens offense going to work, and as usual, it's Lamar Jackson, the former MVP of the league, at the helm.
And he's been sensational all season long, but he saved his best work for the playoffs, leading his guys to the AFC Championship a couple of weeks ago. And now he knows what lies ahead. He's going to need to play a near-perfect 4 quarters of football to get his guys to the finish line.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. First carry for the former Buckeye, J.K. Dobbins. And this Green Bay defense making that play look a lot like the previous one. Both tackles behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. The quick feet by Jackson. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that. And here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ball game, and all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the Packers' 41-yard line.
Jackson going to keep it running right. And he'll get inside the 40 to maybe the 38-yard line. He'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a 3rd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
And oh, that nearly an opening drive INT, but it does fall incomplete. Not the way he wanted to start this ball game as it brings up 4th down. So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So, yes, it's only 3, but at least they're able to answer back after giving up the touchdown to start the game.
Yeah, I like the observation there because getting some points on the board, very positive for them. Feel a little bit better about things because if you don't score, you potentially open the door for them to score again, and then you're down 14.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. On the return, Isabella. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complementary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
On 2nd and 11 now. Rodgers. He completes it to Boyd. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass in the first drive. It comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
A really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. The ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
After 7-3 the score on EA Sports. The Packers with the football here to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a 2nd and 3 forthcoming.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And he is finally out of bounds, just shy of the 5, all the way down at the 6. It's a big play there for Green Bay. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. They'll run here with Dillon. And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee? That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block would be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. Rodgers going to give this one to Dillon. It'll be a gain of 5 there as they move closer. It's 2nd and goal.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
And the ball situated at the 9. 2nd and goal. Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down in the backfield. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty, but when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Rodgers now on 3rd and goal. Touchdown, Packers! Andy Isabella there to make the grab. And the Packers continue to look good here in the first half of this Super Bowl. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. Now Joey Sly for the point after. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So that drive in total 8 plays. And the result, a Green Bay score. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. On the return, Devin Duvernay. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Gets it up around the 22 and no further. Did show some power on the run, but not a whole lot of room. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Now it's Jackson. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard. And into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown. What a moment for him, a pick 6 in the Super Bowl. You think about some of the big pick 6s over the history of this huge game. I remember, because I was watching with a lot of Colts fans, Tracy Porter picking Peyton Manning to get the Saints' first title.
Yeah, that one pretty much sealed the deal for New Orleans as well. But I got to go back a ways because, you know, unfortunately I'm considerably older. Herb Adderley, the Green Bay Packers, got it all started. The first pick 6, Super Bowl II against the Oakland Raiders, and some of the better ones that were out there. You might remember Dwight Smith of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers had 2 in one game when they won their Super Bowl championship against Rich Gannon in Oakland. You mentioned Tracy Porter already. How about James Harrison of the Steelers? You remember that one? 100 yards right before the half ended? That was a big-time play. But for me, the absolute classic, Willie Brown in slow motion against the Vikings for the Raiders. The grand old man, Willie Brown, 75 yards.
You recall them all, and what a play here. Another pick 6 in the Super Bowl. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. And they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle, you know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there, it's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Jackson's throw complete here to his receiver, Brown. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
And I can see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
Jackson will throw again. Open man is Duvernay. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play, and that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
They set up the screen for Dobbins. And he gets this only to the 41. Not near enough for the first. 5 yards, not enough. And it'll be 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. Second quarter action, 1:56 remaining. A reminder, coming up at intermission, we'll get highlights of this Super Bowl from Jonathan Coachman and the crew in Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing now is Rodgers. And his throw here's incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
Rodgers going to keep it once more. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there forcing a loss on that play.
The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Riley Dixon now to punt it away. James Prochet deep for Baltimore. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
The football back over to Baltimore and J.K. Dobbins. You can count his carries on one finger. They've only given him the rock one time, Charles. What gives?
So we can't draw any conclusions just yet. He has to touch the ball multiple times in order to get into a rhythm and have a chance to have success. You know what else gets into a rhythm? The offensive line. They feel better about what they're doing when they know they've had multiple opportunities to get it done.
Yeah, well, the conclusion we can draw so far, they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. Let's see if they change tunes. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Jackson going deep here for Watkins. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. A big play that time through the air. 33 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Jackson now. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard. And the Packers are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room. And it's a Packers touchdown. Aaron Rodgers, 3 first-half touchdown passes. And the Packers are starting to open things up here in the Super Bowl. Sly on for the extra point. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown.
Fair catch. And at the 25-yard line, the Ravens take over 1st and 10.
The Ravens going to get one more drive here in this first half. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive. Meanwhile, Jackson's throw into the hands of Andrews. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. White flag coming out as they line up to kneel on it. All that remains is to snap this once, and that'll do it for the first half of play. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. The final second ticks by, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. So it's halftime here on sports' grandest stage in the Super Bowl. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. First, let's get a check on the next-gen stats from that first half for the Ravens. And they will need to get this passing game in gear because they did not do much of anything in that first half. and it's why the scoreline is what it is. Meanwhile, for the Packers, we check out their numbers on the ground as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half. These two teams have had plenty of extra time to make their final adjustments, but time's just about up. The final half of the NFL season is upon us. So let's get it back out to our Super Bowl broadcast team. Here's Brandon and Charles.
These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in the Super Bowl. No run back here for Duvernay. Touchback out to the 25. The Raven offense set to start this third quarter. And right now, their chances of hoisting that Lombardi trophy not looking too great, but perhaps that long halftime, maybe it did them a world of good.
But if there's ever a chance to regroup, it's in this game, right? Because you do have that long halftime, a chance to really assess things and maybe make some changes and true adjustments. They played great all year long. That was the worst first half of the season for them. They're hoping to put it behind them and come out punching here in the second half.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Jackson from the shotgun. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Preston Smith just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. A hole to dig out of here, 2nd and 17. Jackson, draw play to Dobbins. Room to run past midfield. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
Play action. It's Jackson. He's going to look deep for Watkins. And this one is incomplete.
What we've seen so far in this game, they're not going to allow a big shot over the top. You can have whatever you want underneath. They'll give you that, but they're not going to let you beat them deep.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
He'll check this down to Dobbins out of the backfield. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Justin Tucker on for the field goal. A 56-yard attempt.
And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. The distance wasn't the problem, but he did need some help from the right upright, and he got it. A little kiss and in.
Yeah, unfortunately caught on the inside of the upright, and that pushed it through. This isn't like a baseball foul pole where you hit any part of it and it counts. It's got to go through the post. If he hits it on the outside, that's no good.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1-play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was really easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. Rodgers' throw complete here on target to Tunyon. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. So 3rd and 5, defensively expecting pass. They've got 6 DBs out there. Rodgers going to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this is incomplete. Oh, he looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
Let's go,
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 13. He'll start with a handoff to Dobbins. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on 1st down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
Jackson's throw complete there to Bateman. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football. Right now, I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Well, that's complete to the fullback, Ricard. A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's 2nd down. Jackson escapes the sack. But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Going deep here for Watkins. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Here's Sam Cook now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Rodgers now on 1st down. It's caught here by Adams. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
1 quarter remains here in the Super Bowl. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. From the 38, Rodgers. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Now, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away, turns into a nice play.
And that is incomplete. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They'll run for it with Dillon. Going absolutely nowhere. He'll wind up losing a yard or 2. The Packers unable to pick up the first. And the Ravens are going to get the football back. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Jackson. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45.
That's good for a Baltimore Raven.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. Darius Williams in there to make the tackle. 2nd and 7. Jackson. And this is caught by Watkins.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Here's Jackson to throw. He drops this one off underneath here for Hill. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and...
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th. Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. That is caught. It's Bateman for a Raven touchdown. Rashad Bateman, 38 yards. And the Ravens are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Well, for all the deserved accolades Lamar Jackson gets for his running prowess, his deep ball, it's really a thing to behold as well.
And give him credit, he deserves it. But this is such a breakdown defensively, my goodness. From a pass rush perspective, you know that they got to be coming hard on 4th down trying to get to the quarterback. But from a coverage perspective, how do you not see that play developing? And it turns into a touchdown.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that will cut the lead down to 15. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays, and it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Isabella not going to risk a return here. They'll start at the 25. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they have been the better of the two sides to this point with a 2-score lead, 4th quarter of this Super Bowl. And the Lombardi Trophy within reach as they start this drive 1st and 10. And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete. Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll try and run some clock now with Jones. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. The Packers on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Shotgun now for Rodgers. This one swung out here to Jones. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. And good pressure defensively to stop him for a loss of a couple. And there's also a flag to go with it. So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
From the shotgun, a give to Jones. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 57 yards on the ground for him so far. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On 3rd down, here's Jones. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the 1st. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They failed once in this spot earlier, but the offense will stay out to go for it on 4th down. They'll run a toss here with Dillon. And this doesn't end well at all as they stop him far behind the line to gain. The Packers unable to pick up the first. And the Ravens are going to get the football back. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. And incomplete on the deep ball.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. This throw incomplete, nearly picked off. And with his pedigree, he doesn't drop many of those. But 3rd down coming up. Jackson to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Now Jackson. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that may write a finish to this Super Bowl. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
The Packers looking to get out of here with a win as they take the knee.
Offside. Keep it.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play. Watch the pass. Watch the pass. Here we go.
Time for this one final knee to put a bow on this title bout.
I don't know why we did it, but we went to their final walkthrough for some reason. And what did we see? Their last play in walkthrough was taking a knee and celebrating winning a Super Bowl. They wanted that visualization. They did it for real.
Yeah, they just scripted it out. Defense can't stop the clock, and they can watch the final seconds tick. And the Lombardi Trophy is going back home. The Green Bay Packers are your Super Bowl champions. And their remarkable season ends in the most remarkable of ways. They get to put next to their name, Super Bowl champion.
And they can't ever take that away, can they?
Nope.
That lasts forever. So good to see the emotion when it's all said and done. You see the hugs, you see the guys sharing, the collective happiness. Makes me want to carry you around a little bit on my shoulders to celebrate the triumph. And congratulations to them, a fantastic season.